welcome to another episode on the Boss Lady series. I remain your host, Queen Chichi, and today I'll be talking about something I have titled. It's a very, it's a very tricky title, but I'm very sure by the time I start explaining it, you understand. Your association determines your destination. Your association determines your destination. Whom you associate yourself with, whom you have around your space, whom you sit and have conversations with, whom you listen to determines your destination. Now, I want to read out something for us before I get into the Bible case study we have for today. And it's and I want us and I want us to understand something because in this life no man is an island. There is definitely somebody you listen to. There is still definitely somebody you have conversation with. There is definitely somebody that is influencing you. Or people rather would say, "Oh, I have a mentor. I have a role model." Let me just use the word. I have a mentor. I have a role model. So there is definitely someone you listen to. Now, in life, nobody walks alone. Everyone has people they listen to. They spend time with and people whose voices influence their decision. As simple as that. There is actually somebody you listen to. There is somebody whose voice influences your decision. There is somebody you look up to. There is somebody you associate yourself with. One of the greatest forces that shapes a person's destiny is association. As simple as that. No matter what you're doing, there is actually people you have around your space. There are people you communicate to. There are people you actually listen to when they speak to you, when they talk to you, when you have conversations with them, you listen to them. Many people do not fail because they lack potentials. They fail because of wrong voices and wrong influences around them. That is why the Bible warns us in First Corinthians chapter 15, verses 33. It says, evil communication corrupts good manners. Evil communication corrupts good manners. And now we'll be looking at this case, we're looking at the story of Ammon and Jonadab. Ammon is the son of King David, and Jonadab is his friend, which can be seen in the book of 2 Samuel chapter 13, verses 1 to 39. It's a very long read, but in your spare time, you can read it. Now, the summary of this whole story about Ammon, the son of King David, and his friend Jonadab is as simple as that. Now, Absalom, who is also the son of King David, has a sister that is called Tamar. She's so beautiful, she's so gorgeous, she's so like fair skinned, she's very attractive. And her brother, who is Ammon, had a crush on her. I'll use the word crush because he had a crush on her and he was attracted to her and he was looking for every possible means to lie with her or to have carnal knowledge with her. That he now went to meet his friend Jonadab. This is where it gets tricky. His friend now told him, pretend to be sick and tell your father the king to tell your sister Tamar to attend to you. Thereby you will have opportunity to do whatever you want to do, because then a princess cannot just go to a prince's lodge or where a prince stays without being summoned or without being instructed to do so. So there was restrictions during that period, and Ammon was her stepbrother, so the restrictions was already there. So what did Ammon do? Ammon now pretended to be sick, and then he told his father this is what he wanted. You're sick, what do you want? What do you want to eat? And all that questions will come, and he told his father what he wanted. And the father quickly instructed the sister Tamar to go and attend to cook something very delicious and go and attend to her brother Ammon. And when Tamar obeyed the instruction of the king, her father, and she did that, and Ammon now had carnal knowledge of his sister Tamar. And when that happened, the crush and the lost scales fell off from his eyes. But the deed has already been done. So what did Tamar do? Tamar went to meet her brother Absalom, and she told her brother about it. And then the consequences of Ammon's action did not happen immediately. Now this is the part I want you to understand. The consequences of your association and your decision or your influence might not happen immediately. It might take a while before you will get the consequences of that decision or that instruction you must have listened to or that voice you must have obeyed, which is a negative voice, the consequences might not come immediately, because the consequences of Ammon did not come immediately. It came after a while, which is like after some years. Absalom had it in mind. He had, when his sister Tamar told him everything that happened, he kept it in mind and was looking for the perfect time to strike. And then he ordered for a banquet and invited all the king's sons and others, and all of them start together. And Absalom, like being a prince, came with his own guards and all that stuff. And at that point in time, he decided to take his brother's life. That was the consequences of Ammon's decision. That was the consequences of the advice Jonadab gave Ammon back then. He now faced the consequence, and the consequence of King was Prince Absalom taking his life. Now, I want us to understand something. The association you surround yourself with, the people you listen to, there are consequences of actions. There are consequences of voices you listen to that are negative. Those consequences might be what will change your destiny for life. Because we need to be very careful whom we listen to, whom we associate ourselves with, whom we look up to, whom we obey. Because there are consequences of everything. Now, not every friend is a good influence. Some people are clever but not godly. The advice Jonadab gave Ammon, you could have seen it's a smart advice, but it was never a godly advice. It was an advice that constituted with abomination, which was not supposed to happen. Wrong advice can lead to destruction. A single bad counsel can change the direction of your life. Choose people that strengthen your faith. Your circle should push you closer to God, not dipping you into sin. Because whatever you decide to, whatever you listen to, whatever advice you take, if it's not a godly advice, if it's not something that will shape your destiny, can lead you to destruction, can change the course of your life forever. Because it's like garbage in, garbage out. So whatever you take in is what you're going to bring out. There is no rocket science about it. What I say, because there are some role models you look up to and they are not supposed to be your role model. They are unknowingly influencing and shaping the course of your destiny, because you have become so fixated in them, you've become so attached that you feel that whatever they are doing is the right thing, is the best decision at that point in time. Whatever advice they give you, you feel, oh, this is the best advice, this is what I'm supposed to do, and you are falling deep into the consequences of whatever advice you take from them. So we need to be very, very careful with the association we bring into our life, with the association we keep, with the people we have around them, with the communication we have with people, so that they do not change the course of our destiny forever. We should take example from the story of Ammon and Jonadab. See what his friend told him and see what he did and see the consequences. So in our everyday life, even as we grow, even we should talk to our younger ones, our siblings. If you're married and you have kids, you talk to your kids. Be careful who you listen to. Be careful who you run to for advice, and be careful who influences you on decisions to take. So at the end of the day, you do not make a choice that would deter, that would change your destiny forever, taking you out of your God-given purpose into that which God has never ordained for you. Because the consequences might not come now. The consequences might be boiling to come later. Thank you so much for your time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube page. And see you some other time. I remain your host, Queen Chichi. I love you, but God loves you more. And don't forget, your association determines your destination. So be careful whom you listen to. God bless you. Bye.